Hey, what's up everybody? It is Mark with the My Front Range Living team. And today we're going to talk about, is radon testing necessary when you're thinking about buying a home? It's a huge topic that we get a lot here in Colorado Springs. So let's get started right now. Hey, what's up everybody? It is Mark with the My Front Range Living team, powered by RE/MAX Integrity. We are a team of full-time real estate agents here in Colorado Springs. And so today we want to talk to you a little bit about radon testing and is it necessary when you're buying a home? And like I said, when you come to Colorado, I mean, if you were to do a quick Google search on radon in Colorado, man, it's gonna kick back a lot of information for you. So the answer is yes, sometimes. So if you're thinking about buying a home in Colorado Springs, let's dig into that. And let's start with, what is radon? So, I mean, what is radon? So it's a naturally occurring breakdown of uranium or other metals, and they've got really fancy names that I don't know. But it's basically a breakdown of those metals, specifically uranium, in soil or underground water that rises to the surface. And yes, it can be deadly. So that's what it is. We find it more often in the rocky parts of Colorado Springs. And that's what we'll talk about that in a second. But radon is essentially a tasteless, odorless, colorless gas that is caused by the breakdown of uranium in the soil or underground water. So basically what happens is it gets in through the cracks or the walls or the slab of your home, and it gets into your home, and then it gets trapped. Like if it happens, it naturally occurs all the time in nature and outdoors, and that's fine. It's outdoors, it naturally just dissipates, and that's great. Indoors, it's contained and it becomes a problem. Think carbon monoxide. So it gets in through the cracks, it gets into the walls or your slab or whatever the house, and then it's contained, right? So it's in this contained environment and it can be deadly. So what has to happen is we test for it. So when we test for radon, normally we tell people that really the only out-of-pocket expense they have after they're under contract on a home is the inspection. So a radon test is done at the time of inspection. So you would want to plan for that. It runs about $125, $150, depends on who you're talking to here in Colorado Springs. But that's an average, so it's pretty nominal just to test. That test takes about 48 hours. And the reason that contained, we talk about that it gets in your house and it's contained, that test, we want to tell people, we want to tell the sellers of homes, hey, we're doing a radon test, so please keep your windows closed, keep your doors closed. I mean, outside of normal ingress and egress, right? We don't want to trap them for 48 hours, but we want a contained environment so we have a better idea of what the real radon test is. And we'll talk more about a contained environment in just a second. So if that test comes back at 4 or more, we have a conversation. So this is where I'm going to get a little bit out of my league. I don't know how to say this, but the limit is 4. Now, I say the limit is 4 because it's 4 picocuries per liter. I don't know what those are. I just know the number 4. But if it comes back at like 6 or 8, something like that, this is when I have a conversation with buyers. Open a window or a door, and immediately that's going to go back down because, again, when that radon gets to the outdoors, it just dissipates, right? So if it's 6 to 8, fine. But what if it hits 16 to 20? And we've had that happen. It's 20 picocuries per liter, and Mark, we got to do something. So, hey, and we talk about this all the time. So, and we did a video. If you want to see more about it, hey, how to be competitive in a seller's market if you're a buyer, you can check out this video right here. But we talk about the health and safety part of our inspection objections. Well, clearly, a deadly gas registering high numbers is a health and safety concern. So, we will ask for a radon mitigation system to be installed. So think on a 3,000 square foot house, give or take. You're going to need 1 fan, and that's going to cost, it depends on how they get in, but it's going to be about $1,200 to $1,800 depending upon who installs it for you. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the radon from inside or underneath your foundation, take it out of the house and all the way up. So you'll see this gutter-like piece running all the way up to the top of the roof, and then it goes from there. And that way it takes the radon out of the house and then mitigates it accordingly. So we talk about the square footage because if your house is larger, it may require 2 fans, and then it gets a little more expensive. But still, so we can handle that a few different ways. They can, the seller can give you a credit, the seller can have it installed before you close. It just depends on how you do it. But still, radon is a very real thing. So again, that 6 to 8, open a door, open a window, something like that. But in the winter, when your house is closed all year, or right now when it's freaking 90 plus degrees here in Colorado Springs, you have the air on, your house is closed, right? So you need to have that mitigation system installed so it can get the radon out naturally. So people say, is it widespread? Not really. It's super regional. It's hit and miss. Like I said earlier, it's based mainly in rocky areas. So if you're on the east side with that sandy kind of soil, you may not have the issue. If you're on the west side, we see it a lot over there. The easiest way to tell, number one, is the terrain, but number two, look for radon mitigation systems on the homes around you. So yeah, when we talk about, is it necessary? You know, maybe, maybe not, but is it worth it to you and your family for $125, $150? Probably. Hey, as always, we hope you found value in the content today. It would mean the world to us if you went down below, gave us a thumbs up on today's video. It would mean even more if you went down below, hit the bell, and subscribe to our channel. We put out content every single week to help you make Colorado Springs feel like home. If you're thinking about moving to Colorado Springs or relocating, you can go down below the description of the video. There's a free relocation download that we'd love for y'all to have. You can have that at no cost to you, just to learn more about the area. As always, thanks for stopping by. My name is Mark with the My Front Range Living team here in Colorado Springs. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.